What's going on, everybody? I'm Nick Baldwin. I have my co-host Leslie Jackson and Elise Delaney here. They're going to introduce themselves in just a moment. I'm so excited you guys are here. We're going to kick off Q4 in a really great way, teaching you guys how to build a killer Facebook campaign that will convert and bring you leads that that want to talk to you and hopefully want to buy from you too. My name is Nick Baldwin, been with KW for about 12 years. I ran a mega team in New Jersey, a mega team in Michigan. I'm from New Jersey originally. I live in Michigan now. And I was a team leader here in Michigan. And then I was RTT, regional tech trainer for the Michigan region. And I am also co-founder of Lab Code Agents, the largest real estate social media community in the world. With 250,000 members and followers. So thanks for having us. And Leslie, want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Leslie Jackson. I've been with KW, so about 8 years now. And I was a MCTT here in Colorado for a few market centers, I think around 4 or 6. And then I grew into an RTT role for about a couple of years and decided to sidestep into full-time consulting with Nick. A little bit more about me. I was on a high volume team when I first joined Keller. We did about 150 units a year. So I've been in every single seat of the bus. So I understand and appreciate everything that you guys do on a day-to-day basis. I do have my real estate license and I worked heavily on the list side. A little bit more about me is I have a marketing background. So I was a marketing director for a few companies prior to real estate, and all of my passions have collided together in teaching you guys how to win in your business. So I consult agents, I help you all win in your business, and they give you marketing strategies. So you can gain some insight there for me during today's little breakout. So thank you for having me. Elise, are you gonna take the spotlight now?
Hi, everybody. My name is Elise. I am actually an MCTT out of BCP, which is in Northern New Jersey, group of 5 market centers. I work with 2 of them. Currently, we are in the top 5 of KW. So I've had the privilege to work with a lot of our big teams to help them onboard with Command and utilize everything that Command offers. I've been with KW for about 7 years. I initially started with a large team as their transaction coordinator and grew into leadership, which I've been doing for about 5 years. And I love it. I've been working with Nick and Leslie, just giving them some backup on their classes and consulting.
Well, thank you for being here, Elise.
Thanks for having me.
You've been a great help, so appreciate it. So today we're going to talk about, like I told you, how to build a Facebook campaign that's going to convert and help bring you qualified leads for the Q4 of 2021. I can't believe we're almost into 2022. It's crazy. So today we're going to show you how to create an ad that even if you don't have a listing, you can do this. We're going to show you how to create an ad that advertises a list of homes for sale in a certain neighborhood, a certain town. So Leslie, I will hand it over to you.
Okay,
and you will get started. You will get started, Leslie.
You will get started no matter what.
So explain to everyone what we're going to be doing first.
Yeah, so before I dive in, I'm going to show you how to create a saved search and rather just a search on your site so that you can utilize this URL to add into your campaign. So what I'm about to show you is basically the stepping stone to get to what we're about to build. Okay, so this is the first step. Head to your agent website, look up the area that you're interested in promoting. So I'm going to just do my current area, okay? And from here on the right-hand side, you're going to see the neighborhoods in the area. You're also going to see the list of homes in the area. Now, down below where you see all these beautiful neighborhoods, you'll see for sale, price, property type, and more. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come in and select what I want all of my leads to see. Okay, so this is kind of the preemptive step. I'm going to deselect new construction, foreclosure, and short sale. I'm going to keep in active and coming soon. As far as price point goes, just so you all aware, this has been an update. It used to be like a little sliding scale, but I don't want anything lower than, let's say 400,000, and my max will be around, let's say 900,000. I'll click done. Property type, I'm going to go ahead and select houses and keep it simple. I won't do beds and baths because I want as many listings to show up on my feed as possible. Just wanted to point out here, you could actually add keywords. You can look for open houses, and you can also look for price reduced if you want to promote that, okay? So once you see this, you'll see that I selected all of it, right? Now, my map adjusts every time I select something because it's kind of adjusting to what my search criteria is. So the beautiful thing is I'm going to come up here to the top of my screen and copy my URL. And you guys, what I want to show you right now is that this is a live URL. A live URL means that all of this data that's coming in is literally now time. So we're pulling from every single MLS across the nation. So every time a home comes onto the market, it's displayed on your site. So in other words, when we go in to create this ad, which we'll work our way into, I promise, this link is probably going to be different every time because homes are going to be coming onto the market and homes are going to be coming off the market. And so it's a beautiful thing that this link will always be forever live. You don't have to go and update it every time. And you'll see that I copied and pasted it in a different browser and a different tab rather. And you'll see it's the same search. Do you guys see that? So
That's awesome.
Yep. So we're going to use this URL as we build our ad copy today, and also build our design. Okay. Do we have any questions, Nick or Elise?
Let me check the chat. Let me see. Yeah, there's some good stuff here. Okay, so let's go. Let's see.
Oh, where do we view our agent site? It looks like that's been
So if you
asked
don't
a
know where
couple
your agent
times.
site is, why don't you show them real quickly where it is? It's under consumer in
Yep.
command.
So
Under
we're gonna head into command, and I'll show you exactly where to find it. And the awesome thing is you get to customize your site. You get to add whatever you want to your site, really. And
your site is already active. Your site is
right.
your site is already there. So like all you have to do is customize it. You know, like your site is already, the IDX is there, your branding is there, all that stuff is there. So you don't have to worry about any of that. If you want to customize it, then you can, but that's a whole other webinar.
Totally different class. All right, so where did you copy the URL to? All right, so give me 1 second, guys. So you're gonna head into command. You're gonna click on the consumer applet.
Facebook campaigns thing.
And then we're gonna click, you'll see,
except Leslie, I muted everyone, so unmute yourself.
I got it, thanks, Nick. Thank you. No worries. No worries. All right, so your URL is going to be displayed right here. Also, if you click on site and app settings in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, click there, and all of your URLs live here. So there's my URL. It's lesliejackson.kw.com. And for those users who have not yet like totally built their site, there's a Kelly guide that will walk you through, which is a totally different class. Okay, so we're not going to get too much into the weeds on how to build it or customize it. Nick and I teach a class on that through our Facebook classes that we offer. All right, so getting back to the browser question, we headed into my agent site, which was lesliejackson.kw.com. I then created the search on the right-hand side of my screen, for sale, 400 to 900,000, etc. And then I simply selected and copied this URL. Now, I'm not going to implement the copying of the URL right now, just because we're going to show you later where to add it. So just put that in your memory box. This is how you create a search on your site. We're going to use this, so keep this tab open. And now we're going to head back into designs and create our design for our ad. Cool? All right. So now I'm going to walk you through how to create a design inside command for your ad copy. I'm going to click on designs. And then in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you're going to select Create design, and we're going to select social. Continue. And as you know or may not know, this is going to pull us into the library of all of our designs that KW offers and our amazing marketing team that creates this and updates this all the time for you guys. I'm going to go and just pick luxury. And just a disclaimer, there are some luxury designs in here. You can use them as much as you want, but if you're not a luxury agent, you don't have a luxury logo. Okay. If you are a luxury agent, you get to use a luxury logo. So if you have a property that you want to promote as a luxury property, you can. Okay, so backing up, I'm going to go to for sale. Because we're going to be using a safe search from my site, we're going to actually capture the whole search and promote the search rather than just the listing. So I'm going to click on, let's use this one. And I love these templates because they're simple and they're eye-catching. So marketing 101, we want something that's going to capture the person's eye to stop their thumb from scrolling. And we're not going to add too much text copy over the design because Facebook doesn't really like it, okay? So we want to keep it as simple as possible. Now, what is amazing is that we have a ton of free stock images inside the design library. So let me show you where those live. Left-hand side of my screen, you'll see images, text, logos, elements. You guys see that? I'm going to click on images and then I'll click on workspace. Okay, from here, we get to choose what kind of home we're going to try to display that kind of is cohesive with our search. So for me, I'm in Denver, Colorado. I'm going to click house exteriors. And I'm going to just simply look at all of these beautiful stock images so that I can find a Colorado style home that kind of fits the neighborhood, okay? And you're going to do the same in your area. Maybe you live in San Francisco and you look at some of these homes right here that looks very San Francisco-ish, right? Maybe you live in New York. So I'm going to go ahead and use this guy just because it looks like a home from Denver. So I'm going to slide this in. I'm going to drag and drop. Isn't that beautiful? It's like fall all over again. The orange pops with the orange door, right? So we're looking at this from like a kind of a design point of view. Now I'm going to just select this text box. And for those of you who are like asking questions in the chat, just know that this whole class, this little demo is being recorded because we are doing Facebook Live. So you're gonna you'll be able to go back and rewind and rewatch. Okay, so I promise you. Stream to Facebook. Oh, you forgot to stream for Facebook. Well, we're recording right now, so that's all that matters.
We are recording. I just forgot to stream to Facebook.
All okay. Good.
I was like, wait a minute, did I hit record? Yes, I did. Okay, good. Crap. Start over.
Rewind everything.
I'm rewinding.
Oh, it's Friday. It's been a week.
My dad jokes are killing me today.
I love your dad jokes. Okay, so focus. Homes for sale in Denver. I'm going to just delete all these little boxes here, and then we're going to go ahead and select a text box. So I'm going to select text, and we'll say subtitle. So now it adds a subtitle here. Oops. Try that again. And then I'll kind of have a call to action or a CTA. So CTA means call to action. So oops, give me 1 second. Let's try this again. Keyboard is not playing nice right now. And you can make this longer, you can make this smaller, okay? And then the beautiful thing is you get to add your logo to your design. And again, a different class, but you can add your assets, like your brand assets in the brand asset library so that you don't always have to pull your logo in every single time, just a little quick tip there. So I'm going to head into logos, and we'll use this beautiful, lovely red KW logo and place it, let's say right here, because it kind of pops a little bit more with the red.
Better place.
All right, so there it is. And I'm going to just readjust my image so we can see homes for sale in Denver. Maybe I make this bold so that it stands out more. And just rearrange a little bit to even this out. All right, so now what I want to tell you is once you're done with the design, you absolutely need to rename it, okay? Because when we walk you through how to create the ad copy, which Nick will show you here soon, it's going to ask you to find your design. So I'm going to just name this Facebook class. I don't know why my keyboard's being silly this morning. Okay. And then from here, all you need to do is click done. You can also download it in various different formats. So PDF, PNG, you name it, JPEG. But I'm going to click done and save. All right. Okay, do we have any questions?
So let's just back up a little bit, right? So what Leslie did was, if you guys don't have even if you have a listing or don't have a listing, what she did was she created a search from her agent site. And she did that from the consumer facing portion of it. And that link right there will be the link that the Facebook campaign directs the consumer to. So because our websites are IDX, which if you don't know stands for Internet Data Exchange, what that means is when you add a listing to your MLS, you have agreed to exchange the data, exchange the information, exchange the data for your listing with agents in your market. So we're not advertising one specific listing saying this is ours. We're essentially putting a listing alert or a saved search in the form of a Facebook ad. Does that make sense to everybody? You're giving the consumer a curated search. You're giving them an opportunity to look through like whatever type of search you want to show them. If you want to show them homes that are recently reduced, if you want to show them open houses, you can do that under the More tab that gives them more options. If you want to show them houses that have a certain amount of acreage, if you want to show them condos, it doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to build the ad for you after this. Now I'm going to go in and build the ad so you'll see where the saved search goes, where the link goes. So don't worry, we haven't built the ad yet. We're preparing for the ad.
We're preparing. Janet has a question.
I want you to get your marketing out of the way first. Your marketing is the destination, and then your marketing is also the design, because it looks professional. So you got those things taken care of. Okay. There's some questions.
Yeah. Leslie, if I could chime in. Yeah. This is Janet Breiter from the Greater Boston area. So hi there. I saw just the KW logo put in. Do we have to put in our own franchise logo?
Yes.
Yes. I just DBA, your market center DBA. Okay. Use your market center DBA.
Okay.
And you can use your own personal logo too.
Okay. Part two of the question is when the consumer gets the feed and does the link, and they see the listing other than Keller Williams, is it just good if they're interested, it just comes to us, or
only since it's your website, if they request to see a property, it only comes to you.
Okay, thank you.
Now, just because they click through to your website doesn't mean they've created an account. They have to create an account.
Right.
That happens sometimes. But if they want to submit a request to see the property, then they have to create the account. But it only goes to you because it's your website.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So anytime somebody visits your site and they love a property, it's going to force them to register because it's going to ask the consumer to save that property and literally create like a saved collection or a saved search, which is a totally different part of the Facebook class that Nick and I offer. And then also, like Nick said, if somebody wants to, let's say, schedule a tour, it's going to ask them to register. Now, all that information will get placed in your command. So you know exactly who registered, what they were looking at, and how many saved searches they also created, which is beautiful.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Any other questions?
If there's no questions, I'm going to jump into my command. And I'm going to build out the
Oh,
app.
we have a question. Alicia
Okay.
has her digital
Hi.
hand raised.
I'm also in
Hi.
your Wednesday class, which is awesome.
Alicia, I can't
wait for
hear
next
you.
week.
Maybe you're
Can you hear me?
muted
I can hear you.
or don't
Okay.
have a microphone.
We can
No.
hear her now.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So I'm in your Wednesday class as well, but I just thought I'd hop on. I do have a question. I have a separate company that I get online leads from as well. So I pay for that website. I can also use that website while I'm doing this?
Well, I don't know if your website has this capability to do that. Like I know that the consumer site with KW has that capability to create a search on the consumer side and then have that search say evergreen, which
Okay.
means it doesn't ever go away. You can test it out on the other site that you have and see if it has that capability. I know some
Okay.
sites don't, but see what happens. If it works, then you can use it. Yeah.
Also, just one other part to that question. So when somebody links or clicks on that link and it goes to your website, does it just save search those properties or does that automatically update? Because in my market center in near Toronto here, things stay on the market for 5 days. So if I do an ad for longer, those are going to be
It's
relevant.
IDX, so the listings
Oh, is it?
will update as they go
Gotcha.
on and off the market.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, that's another cool thing about it is it's tied to a data source. So if a house goes off the market, then it'll reflect. And so you don't have to change your ad or anything. You know, it's pretty cool. All right, let me jump in here to campaigns. And I'm going to click, I'm in campaigns. So I click the little megaphone and I'm going to go to create campaign right up here in the upper right-hand corner. And we're going to choose social ad paid. And we're just going to call this, homes in, I'm going to use Bloomfield, New Jersey, because same idea. Bloomfield, New Jersey, Denver, whatever market you're in. Okay. Let's just pretend Leslie did what she needed to do. So that was you creating your marketing. And now you're going to go in and I'm you creating the ad. So, but I'm just using a different location because I don't have the picture that Leslie just made, but just pretend it's one continuous thing that we're doing here. All right. I'm going to use attract buyers. Now this goal has nothing to do with your targeting. It just has to do with letting you know when you go look at your paid ads, what your intent was. And I'll do Facebook and I'll do Instagram too. We can do both just so you guys can see how that works. And let's go to create campaign. Now here we are in the campaign area, and I am going to go to the media portion first. So all of these things, if you're using a listing, you add it here from KWLS. We're not doing that right now. Your main copy, which I'll do in a little bit, your media. That's what I want to do first so we can make this start looking nice over here. I'm going to select my media and I'm going to add images from the design library. So if I just created that design like Leslie did, I would click browse design library. And I'm going to come over here and use, I'll use this one here. I'll use this one, Bloomfield Homes, because that's what I'm advertising. So we have to give this a second. Let me try that one more time. So what's cool about this is when you create the design, now mine looks a little bit different than Leslie's, which is fine. But here's another example of how design can look. What's cool is once you create the image within Designs, you don't have to download it to your hard drive. You can just save it and pull it right from Designs. So there's no downloading and you don't have to waste that storage in your computer. So let's save that. And here's that image. Mine looks a little bit different, but you can see my KW DBA is up here and my team logo's down here. Homes for sale in Bloomfield, get the list now. All right, so now we're going to go back up to text and I'm going to write the copy first because I can't type and talk at the same time. So I'm going to write the copy out and then I'm going to explain to you the intention of the copy and what it means. So Leslie, feel free over the next couple minutes while I'm writing this out to answer questions and have a conversation with people if you want.
You got it. You got it. So I just want to also reiterate that while Nick is typing things out, I know you guys have a couple of questions. Oh, it looks like Elise might have answered, but where did Nick find this design? That design that he found is in the design library. And he simply did the same thing that I had already showed you guys. So it just looks a little different.
Everyone or Elise. Thank you.
Thank you. And then the beautiful thing is, as you know, like I had mentioned before, we save our design, we title it so that when we do come into this section of creating the ad, you could simply just pull it into your ad copy. So that's the best route. If for any reason it doesn't pull in, you guys, all you need to do is download it and then upload it from your computer. So there's a quick tip there. Another quick tip is that the social square works extremely well for placement. So if you're looking for the type of design to use within the design library, we definitely suggest using the social square measurements for these templates. Another thing that I want to add too is, like Nick will say, my claim to fame is putting emojis and capital letters and or just like the title like you see right now. So new homes for sale. I had the pleasure to sit with Colorado's top 20% in the region. And it was really cool because we A and B tested these campaigns together. We actually tracked a lot of the metrics through just learning every single week what worked, what didn't work. And at the very end of the day, I will tell you that emojis are your number one thing that you want to use. And the reason why is because if you could just look on the right-hand side of his screen right now, they really do make the copy pop. So the copy meaning that what he's writing out, so we call that the main copy. And it literally stops your thumb from scrolling on Facebook. Like how many of us are on Facebook and we're just like scrolling, and then you stop to look at something. Well, why did you stop? Because most likely the image, number one, so the image needs to be real simple and eye-catching. Again, not too much text copy. And number two, use emojis and make it place those emojis into your ad copy. And that's what we found every time with this top 20% in Colorado is that if you did these two things over and over again, and your message was cohesive with what your picture says, you're going to get leads. So it was really cool to just see the results and how many agents were winning in this group that I was able to lead. So Nick, you're doing a great job.
Yeah. All right. So I made my text copy. Okay. So check this out. You're scrolling and you see these emojis, these fireballs, just like, exploding on the page. New homes for sale. Bloomfield, New Jersey is a sought after location for home buyers. Great schools, classic homes with character, and New York City direct transportation make it ideal. Take a look at a list of the latest homes for sale by clicking learn more. So I want to show you what I did here. It's very simple to create ad copy. Think of 3 things that you could talk about with 250 characters. 3 things that are great about the town. So for Bloomfield, the schools are great. The homes are 100 to 150 years old, so they have a lot of character. and there's New York City direct buses and trains, and you can get to the city in less than 45 minutes. So those are things that are Manhattan, by the way. Those are things that are really attractive to buyers. So think of 3 things that are really attractive to buyers when you're creating this for yourself. It doesn't take, you know, a poet to create this type of ad copy. Just think of why people like to live there. Okay. And use emojis that make sense. This is to get attention. Okay. This is a little pin, Bloomfield, New Jersey. Boop, the pin. Classic Homes, little house, and a little cell phone with an arrow telling people to click. Okay. Down here with the headline, you can see it down here, new homes for sale. And the description, it should really only be 1 sentence. Click to get the list now. It's just another reminder, okay, with an arrow pointing over to learn more. All right, so let's save and let's go to Facebook, Instagram settings. All right, we're going to choose our page now. And this says Keller Williams. Obviously, we don't want it to say Keller Williams. If you do, fine, but I would choose your own page. And I'm going to choose my team page. And you can see that it'll switch over to Superior Homes Group, Keller Williams Premier. And where do you want your ad to show on Instagram? Do you want it in the feed or in the story? So this is how it's going to look on the Facebook, on the internet, on the web. This is how it will look on mobile. And this is how it will look in Instagram. Obviously, this will be more fitted more properly on Instagram. That'll be in the news feed, and this will be in an Instagram story, and it will have a description telling people to swipe up. I would always put it in the story because stories get much more engagement than the Instagram news feed. So I would choose story, but that's up to you. Okay, then we want to click learn more. And then we want to add the website URL. So I'm just going to come over here and do this again for you so you understand what I did or what Leslie did before. I'm just going to type in the zip code and I'm just going to filter my search on my website. Property type, just going to do houses. I'm going to do 3 beds and 2 baths. And that brings me down to 81 properties. All right, sounds good. I'm just going to grab this link up here and I'm going to go over to create campaign and I'm going to drop it right in there. Okay, once you get the check mark, you're good to go. And now we want to use custom settings because I want to target it. All right. So it's important to target the area where your buyers are coming from. So I know that in Bloomfield, my buyers aren't necessarily coming from Bloomfield. They're coming from New York. They're coming from New York City. That's where most of them are coming from. So I want to target New York, and I only want to do like a 15-mile, 20-mile radius. Okay, so think of a map and then putting a pin right in the map. It's going to go right smack dab in the middle of Manhattan. And it's going to go out 20 miles on all north, south, east, and west. Okay. Now we're going to do add interests. So 2 ways you can do this. You want to target higher net worth individuals. And by doing that, you're going to use targeting like this. Finance, personal finance. Let's do stock. So stock market, stock exchange. Do market so we can get financial market. Market Watch is a website or a magazine that people like. Let's use let's do home. I think we can do first time home buyer. Oh, need to put a dash in between there. First time home buyer. We can do mortgage loans, mortgage calculator. Oh, and luxury is important. luxury property. Okay, so here's some great targeting you can use. So if you don't want to wait for the recording to come out, just take a screenshot of this. So this is targeting for people who match finance or personal finance or stock market or stock exchange or mortgage loans or luxury property. What this means is it's going to get in front of people who have interest in these things, but it's one or the other. It's not all of them. It's finance or personal finance or stock market or luxury property. It's not and. Okay, but we're going to make it and in our next example. So if you want to make this go deeper, like if you want to get even better quality, we're going to click down here, narrow audience, and I'm going to choose Zillow. Choose realtor.com. And I'm going to get rid of some of these up here. I'm going to get rid of okay, so I have finance. Let's see. I'm going to put down here. Maybe I want to do. Okay, I'm going to put luxury property down here. So now what I have is this. I've got people who are interested in finance and they're interested in Zillow, realtor.com, and luxury homes. I have people interested in the stock market and people interested in Zillow, realtor.com, and luxury property. I have people who want to be a first-time buyer and they're also interested in Zillow, realtor.com, and luxury property. I have people who have inquired about mortgage loans and look on realtor.com, Zillow, and they're interested in luxury homes. So even if it's not a luxury home, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It just helps put you
if
in.
I could. Wait, Sarah has a
Sure.
question. What's a good rule of thumb, in your opinion, on how many interests and topics to choose, like a maximum?
Got it. So if you're doing this, you want to do fewer. So like, because here's the thing, like if you did, let me see, if I add an interest up here and I chose, let's see. Oh, dentistry. Okay. People who are dentists are interested in dentistry and look on Zillow, realtor.com, and luxury homes. That's probably a combination. It's not going to bring me a ton of people. You know what I mean? So you want to make sure that you stay within a theme, money oriented, housing oriented. And if you're splitting it up like this, I would do between 4 and 6 on the top and no more than 3 on the bottom. If you're only doing the top portion, you could do as many as like 10, 12, 15, because it's going to get in front of only going to get in front of people interested in one or the other. Whereas here, you're getting in front of people interested in one of these and then all 3 of these. So you don't want to go too crazy. Does that make sense?
Hey, dentist, you messed up. Dentist is a lot.
What?
Dentist would be a lot.
Dentists would bring you a lot of people? How many dentists are out there?
It's a lot, man. It's a lot of people that make a lot of money.
I bet you there's more realtors. Bet you there's more realtors. Okay, let's say fly fishing.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Fly fishing. People interested in fly fishing and Zillow, realtor.com, and luxury property. I'm sure there are people interested in fly fishing who are interested in those 3 things, but maybe not those 3 things together. You know what I'm saying? So like you might do fly fishing and luxury homes. That might bring you some people. But then when you start adding 2 or 3 more, it's going to reduce the amount of people that you get in front of. And so the more interests you have this way, one or the other, and then the 3 at the bottom, the more interest you have that way, it's gonna make it much more narrow. So there's no fly fishing option, but it was the only example I could come up with because apparently dentists I offended dentists everywhere across the world.
So, hey, Nick, am I correct in assuming that, let's say it's finance and they have to also have an interest in all three of them? Or what if they're only interested in Zillow and Realtor, but not luxury home? Is that going to drop them off?
So the thing is, like, that's why down here at the bottom, you want to be very specific. Now it's going to get you in front of people who are interested in finance and also have looked on Zillow, Realtor.com, have looked on these two sites, and they have interest in this. So it's all three at the bottom. So that's why when you do it this way, you're going to find yourself having more conversations. You're going to find yourself getting less leads, but you're going to find yourself having more conversations because it is much more granular. So to me, I want to find people who match these three. And if you have like first time buyer, that's a really great combination. First time buyer, Zillow, Realtor, luxury property. That's a great combination. Mortgage loans, Zillow, Realtor, luxury property. That's a really great combination. So you're going to maybe only get like 5 or 8 leads from like a $50 spend, but you're going to have better conversations. And that's what you want. Does that make sense? We're good on that. Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to keep going so we get to the bottom. And lead settings. Okay. So this is where you're going to be able to have some automation in place. So you're going to be able to add tags to your leads when they come in. So I'm going to use Facebook lead. Okay, I have that in my system already. If you don't have it, you just create it. So like if I don't have Facebook space lead, I create a new tag. Okay, but I'm not going to do that. Bloomfield, New Jersey, Bloomfield list. Oh, well, this is the Bloomfield zip code. And so if I want these 3 tags to be added to my leads as they come in, then I just create them and add them here. So they're automatically tagged. And then if you have a smart plan, you can automatically start a smart plan. So if I have a Facebook follow-up, let's say I have a Facebook follow-up campaign, it's texts and emails and such. I can add that Facebook follow-up. So once the lead comes in, they get these tags automatically, and then they automatically get added to my smart plan, and they get followed up with immediately. Okay. And if you want to find a smart plan to use, you can go to the library and look up my name, and I've got like a dozen different smart plans you could use. Facebook follow-up. There's a bunch of Facebook ones that you can customize to work with this type of ad. All right, so budgeting. All right, so I'm just gonna do an example of $50, and I'm gonna do October 2nd, that's tomorrow, until October 7th. So that's 5 days for $5 a day per channel. Now check this out. What we want to do is we want to use automatic placement for Facebook and Instagram. So we don't want to distribute evenly across the 2 channels. And that's because when you use automatic placement, Facebook uses their algorithm to spend your money the right way so you get the best results. So if you're using distribute evenly, it's going to spend $5 a day on both channels, regardless of your results. If you're using automatic placements, if it's not performing well enough on Instagram, it'll take that $5 and move it over to Facebook. So you'll always get the best bang for your buck. Okay. So we want to do dynamic and automatic placements. So we're going to save that. And this is our ad. I mean, we're basically done. There's nothing more to do other than publish it. So I can show you guys really quickly some results. Let me pull up these results real quick. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna pause for a second. Is there any questions in the chat that we want to talk about?
I think we're good.
I have a question.
Sure.
Hi, Carly from Michigan. So I don't know if I just misheard you or we skipped over, like, so I'm doing a just sold one. I'm doing it side by side with you, and I made a design yesterday, so it's kind of cool that you did this. But my question for you is for the headline and description. So if I have like a just sold, and originally my listing that I used in the campaign shows all the, criteria of the house.
Hold on one second. Okay, was that you where that noise was coming from? Sorry, I didn't know if it was or not.
Yes, I have my 4-year-old in the background.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
No
watching
problem.
cars.
I hear you.
So, I would take out all the stuff basically from the criteria of the house when it was listed for the main copy, but what would be something for headline and description to put in there?
Okay, so perfect. So with that, I would do the same thing. I would choose like 2 things about the house and then 1 thing about the area.
Okay.
So the house has beautiful open floor plan, granite countertops, and is close to a beautiful, close to parks and shops or whatever.
Okay.
What's
a good thing for like, what is a good use for headlines? I kind of get lost with my headline. Like what?
Oh, for headlines, like, a headline would just be just listed in wherever you're at in Michigan. That's all. It would just be, don't overthink it. That's just an easy one. Just do just listed or new home in, or, for sale and that type of thing.
Thank you.
All right, cool. No problem. All right. So I'm going to show you guys some real results from some of these ads. All right. This ad, we spent $300 on. We got 76 leads. We qualified 6. When I say qualified, I mean, we spoke to 6 of them who said they wanted to buy and or sell and knew how much they wanted to buy and or sell for, and gave us a time frame. And that is a potential volume of 2.5 million. Now they're not all going to close. They didn't all close, but it was a potential volume of 2.5 million with a potential commission of 75,000. So this is a similar type of, this is exactly the same ad that I just showed you. All right. Again, homes for sale in, or let me do this one here. Homes for sale in Sewell, New Jersey, a different area, South Jersey. $50, 5 leads, 1 qualified for $500,000. I ran this ad for a team in another market because we do that too. So this one brought them $500,000 pre-approved buyer. This was homes for sale in Maplewood, New Jersey, 3 leads for a potential volume of 1.1 million. Now, these are not my ads. I ran these for people. I created these for other teams. This is a neighborhood ad that brought us 2 qualified leads for over $1 million in volume. This is a new listing. Okay, so Carly, I think it was Carly. Carly, this is what it would kind of look like. This was the single property. So steps from Brookdale Park, Central Hall Colonial has 4 beds and 3 baths, new kitchen, finished basement, New York City bus in the corner. So I was able to add like 5 things, right? So that'll give you an example of what to say for that. And here's another one, single property, spacious proportions, significant updates, and enclosed front porch. All right, so that was 3 things. That was all within the house, but you could do as much as you can fit where it makes sense. So you can see this brought us a listing and a buyer. Same, like she listed her home and bought a new house. So these are working, and we're doing the exact same ads that we're showing you, and we are using the same targeting, and is working in multiple locations. Like this one was Myrtle Beach. So I ran this for my friend who's an agent in the Myrtle Beach Market Center. I ran this for him. I ran this for $60 over the course of 30 days. So it's $2 a day, a little bit longer. Got him 16 leads, and he got a pre-approved buyer for $300,000. And he was actively working with her. So these are working. These are really great working ads. And, this is good stuff. This is gold. You know what I mean? This is gold, in my opinion. I mean, but it's just what do I know? It's just my opinion, right?
It's
All right,
cool.
we got a couple questions in chat. I'm trying to type lightning speed over here. So
cool, let's go, because I got tickets to see Venom at 12:40.
Oh my gosh, I'm jealous. Okay, awesome. So one of the questions was, can you just quickly please re-show where you put the URL in the ad? A couple people have asked about that. And then someone, I believe Christine Mitchell asked, is there a difference between running the ad on command versus Facebook, and I'm happy to answer that for you.
Yeah, go
So
ahead, Elise.
if you're running ads on Facebook, you're actually getting treated by Facebook as an individual ad account, which isn't necessarily a terrible thing. However, when you're running ads directly through command, you're actually being partnered or paying for the command ad account as a whole. So all of us from KW running ads are now getting to buy into KW's ad account. So in Facebook's eyes, we're not just this individual, independent, small ad account. We are KW, all of us. Therefore, we get better placements. With our partnership with Facebook, you usually get much better value and cost per click and cost per lead. So, and it's also, in my opinion, way easier. I'm not a big fan of Facebook marketing in their ad center. Did I miss anything? If you guys have more questions, please raise your hands or put them in chat.
Somebody had a great question. If she's a new agent, how do I attract sellers? Great question. 27% of buyers last year were between, here, let me get the exact stats. Okay, because that's a good, very good question. I'm gonna get the exact stats. Hold on one second here. All right. Here it is. This is from NAR from 2020. Buyers aged 41 to 55 consisted of 24% of recent home buyers, with the highest earning income, with the highest income of a median income of 113,000. Buyers 56 to 65 consisted of 18%. So 24% between the ages of 41 and 55, 18% between the ages of 56 and 65. If you're not asking them, if you're not asking every single buyer that comes in, do you currently own a home? Then you're missing the boat. Because I guarantee you that at least 30% of buyers age 41 to 55 already own a home and may need to sell it. And buyers aged 56 to 65 currently own a home and need to sell it. But if you're not asking, you're missing the boat. So you have to ask this way. Do you currently own a home? Because if you ask, do you have to sell before you buy? You're not asking them if they own a home. So if they say no, you might just be like, oh, they don't own a home, but they do, but that's not what you asked. People are very literal. So do you currently own a home? Yes. Oh, do you need to sell that home in order to buy a new one? No, I can sell it later. Great. I just want you to know I can help you with that, but let's focus on your new house first. Okay. And I hope that answers your question. Just ask. That's the best way, because statistically speaking, people in their 50s already have a house, you know?
Can we
So
really quickly
they
show
might be
them
downsizing.
where the URL goes? A lot of people miss that part.
Yeah, I just want to answer that lady's question. Let me jump
Yeah, of
into
course.
yeah, of course, no problem. That's all good. It's all good. All right. This is where in campaigns under Facebook and Instagram settings, right here, website URL. That's where it goes. All right, cool.
And I think
All right,
Donna has a
guys.
question.
We have a question from Donna.
Yeah, actually, I posted it in the chat. My question is, as a new agent, how do I use these Facebook listings to attract potential buyers and sellers if I don't have my own listings to promote?
Oh, I just answered your question.
Yeah, but I know you're asking me, you're telling me to ask people if they own a home.
Yeah, you want to get listings, right?
Right.
Yeah,
I understand
that's
that, but can I choose a neighborhood even though I don't have listings? Like, I just boost a neighborhood that I want to sell in?
So you just do these types of ads and
Mhm.
ask if they have a home to sell. And if
Okay,
they
gotcha.
do, and it's in your market,
Uh-huh.
then you can list it. If it's not in your market, then you get a referral by sending them to an agent that can sell it. That's what I would
Gotcha.
say.
Okay, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay, great, thank you.
That's why I want you guys to ask that question. Because if I'm advertising Bloomfield, New Jersey, even though I'm targeting New York City, I'm still going out 20 miles. So I'm going to get people in Bloomfield, and 90% of people in Bloomfield have a house. So I'm going to get people that live there. So I don't want to miss that opportunity. Oh, you have, and a lot of times they want to move out of Bloomfield. So they might want to buy in another state, and you get to list their house. Oh, I'm looking to move to Colorado. Oh, let me call Leslie. She can help you buy a house there. You need to sell your house in Bloomfield. Oh, I can help you with that. Does that make sense?